Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Universal Lens. We feel a little closer today because we're two, not three. Anthony's not here today. It is his 50th birthday, the old man. So happy birthday, Anthony.
Happy birthday, sir.
Enjoying the day with his family. So festivities for Anthony today. I had lunch with him, but he's enjoying the rest of the day with his family today, so he couldn't make the recording. So we wish him a beautiful, happy birthday and a present and enjoyable weekend with his loved ones.
Happy birthday, Anthony.
So you have us too.
The big 5-0.
You're stuck with the two of us today.
You're stuck with the two of us today.
Like old times.
Yeah, like old times. Yeah. This is I don't
know what you got.
No, I like, you know, when you drive a car you should drive, you're like, yeah, I'm familiar with this car. Never happened.
Neither of us think of the word. This is pretty bad.
You know what I'm saying?
This might be early onset dementia for both of us. In case in 15 years, 20 years, you guys will look back at this video and go, I saw it coming.
Like a familiar feeling, you know what I mean?
Like nostalgia?
Yeah,
Nostalgic?
no, not nostalgic, but like
a familiar feeling.
Yeah, like I know how to
it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Well,
Like
I know how to do. Yeah. So we're back.
Yeah. Don't kids, if you're watching, don't get old.
Actually, you're very fortunate if you do get old.
That's wisdom talking.
Yes.
Not experience.
You're lucky.
Not knowledge.
People, you have old people who come up to you and go, don't get old. It sucks getting old. I've looked at them, plenty of them. I've said, you're fortunate and lucky. I go, you're blessed to be this age. You're blessed to have these aches and pains. You've lived a long, to this day, still a long life. That's great. You know how many people don't make it to 70, 80, 60?
If I can bring some morbidity to the show.
Sure, why not?
My mom passed away at 54.
Yes, from
cancer. Lost her very young, and you think, Anthony's 50, like 4 years.
Yeah, that's all it is.
I'm 45.
When you were 15 or 20, 50, they're old. Hello.
So
hi, old. I'm here now.
Right. So for those
made it.
For those people that made it to their 70s, 80s, and beyond, God bless. And who cares if you can't remember a word? Honestly,
probably better off at that age.
Yeah. No. But even now, like, we couldn't come up with a word.
Oh yeah, it's just part of it. So whatever.
And we, in jest, we're talking about how we can't think of a word.
Yeah. Of course.
You hit the nail on the head. If you're getting old, it's not a bad thing.
No. Yeah. It's really not a bad thing. It's really not a bad thing. So anyway, I hope everybody's had a lovely week and good Thanksgiving. So we didn't have our Thanksgiving episode this year, but I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving and healthy one, and you didn't come back too much on the north side of your starting weight.
No, actually, I got hit with some sort of walking pneumonia, I guess.
Is that what it was? Walking pneumonia or cold?
My daughter had it, brought it home, and here we are.
Yeah, no, that's great.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can hear it. You can hear my voice.
You can hear you a little nasally. Yeah. I mean, I've had a little bit of a cold too, but I hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving with their families.
It was very nice.
Whatever, friends, wherever you were.
Yep.
Be thankful for all those great things that you have in your life. Be grateful for the experiences you have in your life, and for being able to watch us as we go into another episode.
If you're not thankful for that, something wrong with you.
So today, there's a couple of things we could talk about. So I was thinking this week, I had some person in my life who kind of, went through a little rough patch with some stuff that happened to them. Nothing serious, just, more dramatic stuff than anything else. But, I noticed that person, their emotions, were grabbing hold of them and starting to make them make decisions for them. So when we're going through something in life and any kind of event happens, something that makes us suffer or makes us feel like we're in pain, and your emotions get triggered, right? Sadness, resentment, you feel a little depressed, you feel hurt, you feel, all these memories come floating back from this, whatever, right? Whatever's happening or whatever did happen. Your emotions start to take hold and come to to the front of your decision making. So they slowly creep up and start to infiltrate the value system or the things that are important to you and say, no, we're not in the mood for any of this because we feel X, we feel Y, so we don't want to do anything. We don't want to do this. We don't want to do that.
You've been spying on me.
They start making your decisions for you. And we've always said, I always, at the end of every show, we have a disclaimer that we're not therapists, nor do I try to make believe I'm one. But emotional decisions are the worst decisions you can make. My opinion and my experience and what I've seen in my life, right? If you're going through something and you have a major decision to make,
even non-major,
or counsel with somebody you love and you care about, right? If you can't make it on your own, because you might not be unless you've worked at accessing your awareness, like the things that we talk about here, like your higher intelligence, your conscious mind, be able to watch yourself have these emotions. Definitely talk to a family member or friend. But if you do have that ability, pay attention to what your mind is telling you. Like, pay attention to the story it's giving you now, because you're in this shitty feeling because something didn't go your way. Something happened. It could be a death, a job, a loss, a breakup, anything.
Or a series of somethings.
1, 2, 3, 4. You know what they say, when it rains, it pours, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's a shitstorm, the whole thing. Like,
I know.
You notice how your emotions want to say that whole screw it all. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. It's not worth it. And it keeps you on pause. So I was telling this person this weekend, I said, pay attention to the things that are important to you in your life right now. I said, this did happen. This isn't about pushing it away, saying, no, it didn't happen. You know, the old school mentality, get over it. That's no big deal. Mm-hmm. Get over it. That's a form of repression almost, because you're like, it didn't happen. Let's just get on with our lives. No, it happened. It sucks. Feels like shit, right? Yes. It hurts, right? Yes. Okay, great. Acknowledge it. Know it. Feel it. Let it be there. Now, ask yourself, what's important in my life? Because this moment, the decisions you make now are going to dictate what's going to be happening next. So if you decide not to go to the gym because you're a person who loves working out, you decide not to go to the gym, or you decide not to go to work today. You decide not to go to school today. You decide not to do your homework tonight. You decide not to eat dinner. You decide not to get washed today. You decide not to take a shower. You decide all those things you decide not to do. I say, ask yourself, would you be doing those things today? If this didn't happen, normally, would you do that? The person said, yes. I said, then why not do it today? Now, there's nothing in that event that happened that's forcing that person not to do it. Not like, something traumatic happened that they have to be somewhere else. It's their emotions that are telling them they're distraught and heartbroken. They can't deal with this, right? What in your life is important today? Is it important? Would you normally go to the gym today? Yes. So go. Even when you go there, your mind's going to tell you, I don't want to be here. Finish your workout. When you walk out of there, you're going to look back, and for a brief moment, you know what you're going to feel? A little bit of joy, a little bit of, I did it anyway because it was important to me. I chose to do it anyway. And that choice is empowering. Choose to do the thing. So don't let emotions forever dictate the choices you make. Let those choices come from something that you value and you care about, that you would do normally, not only because you're in the mood to today, because you feel happy. That's a big trap for people. And that's one of the reasons why people fall off of diets. They, screw up in school, lose their jobs, because something happens, triggers them to go into an emotional funk. And that funk stops them from doing things. Now, disclaimer, I'm not saying that when you do those things, you're going to feel great, or it's a wonder pill.
Magic pill, yeah.
No. But what it does is it still keeps you doing the things that are important to you. So as those feelings subside now, because the more you do things you value, here's a beautiful part of it. The more you do things you value, care about, that shitty feeling dissipates a lot quicker, because the path you're taking is a path of, this is what I care about. This is what benefits my life and my story and what I want my life to be, not what my mind is dictating it is. So everything dissipates quicker because you're actually doing the things you care about. And you start finding, you might not feel happy, but you find these little moments of joy in there, right? There's little moments of joy, and all of a sudden a little bit of lightness comes up. And if I say, pay attention to where that's coming from. That's you actually being present in what's actually happening and not getting caught in the story. Now, you can't stay there. I understand that. Your mind's going to pull you back. I said that 1,000 times. But you keep choosing, and that moment comes back. And that moment comes back. But it's a choice, not doing it because you want to feel that moment, doing it because what's my actual North Star? Why am I doing this? Going to the gym. I know we use that a lot because Henry loves going to the gym. Yeah. So does my buddy Anthony, and they dragged me into it. So,
you got secondhand, not smoke, secondhand gym.
I got secondhand gym, which I do enjoy going to. So I got to admit, I caught on to me too. But you do it because it's, what's the word I'm looking for?
Value system.
I value my health. I value my job. I value my family, right? Like you have a death in the family, so, or you're an illness, but you have kids to take care of. I don't want to, and it's happened. I've seen parents do this where they get so distraught over something, they start neglecting their responsibilities to children, to things around them. And this isn't about not taking care of yourself or giving yourself time to grieve. Absolutely. But if you value doing that thing with your child, like remember when I was going through like my shit years ago, not that I don't go through shit now, but like when I was in the unaware hellstorm, I'll call it, there were times like I had to go to do something with my kids or with my family. Like I didn't want to go because I was either scared, afraid, anxious. It was a plethora of things, but I went anyway because I know on a different level, it was important to me. Like I wasn't thinking it, I was feeling it. That's important to me. I was gravitating. That's important to me. And I went, you know what happened when you're there all of a sudden? Things would disappear. I come home and I'd be in a great mood. I tell my wife, I go, I don't know what happened. I go, but I hope I wake up this way. And that was my trap. Like I set myself up. So when I woke up, nope. I didn't realize I was doing it back then, but I was doing it, but then I would fall back into the trap because I didn't realize I was kind of negating actually being present and doing it. So, don't let emotions and, dictate how you live your life. They are important to feel, important to acknowledge 100%, but they are not your decision maker. They are the worst. For me, they're the worst decision makers. Like any aroused male who's in front of a beautiful woman, if he lets that feeling of arousal dictate his next move, there's a reason why the divorce rate is so high in this country. Not all the guys' fault, relax, but it goes for women too. But I'm saying because they're choosing what? To follow a feeling, an emotion, an urge more than a higher level of thinking or something. I value my wife. I value my family. Why would I do this?
That right? No doubt. But, in everything you said, following along. And let me tell you, the whole time you're telling that story, I am completely looking in the mirror because I've been struggling this past few weeks with a certain theme that wants to keep popping up in my mind, and it just keeps coming for me. And it's been louder the last 2 weeks for some reason.
That happens.
Right?
Yeah, it happens.
And that's the point I wanted to basically communicate. So the whole time you're telling a story, I don't want anybody to have the impression that there aren't things that don't affect you or there aren't things that you don't think about because you're human.
Of course.
You're going to have these thoughts that come in. But,
yes,
there's...
Oh, it doesn't have to be an event. It could be a thought that triggers it or...
Right. Right.
Gotcha.
Because you started your story about somebody who,
Yeah, that was my...
Right. But you know what?
But good point.
As you're talking, I'm completely mirroring something. Meaning, when I say mirror, I'm holding a mirror in front of me.
Yeah, and which is great, which is very healthy to do, by the way.
And I'm like, totally. And by the way, I am totally aware of the monster that barks in my head and how that makes me feel, and how that wants to alter my decisions, and how that wants to alter how the mood I'm projecting to the rest of my family members or co-workers or friends, right? I'm completely aware of it. And I think I'm going to say it's half the battle. It might be 80% of the battle, but it's half the battle that you're aware of it. So just because it pops up doesn't mean you're a failure.
I want to say something so bad right now.
Really? What?
The word you just used. I'm sorry.
Which one?
Battle.
Yeah, you're right. That's good.
I'm sorry.
So
yeah, keep going.
It doesn't mean you're a failure, or it doesn't mean you're doing something
Not at all.
wrong.
No.
You're actually being human. It's human, and we said before how the ego, in this case, I like to call it the ego, but that thing, whatever,
the thinking mind, which is the ego sometimes,
whatever that thing
also
is,
known as, AKA,
it's constantly coming at you with all sorts of things, like all sorts of things that you will never even think of putting together. It comes at you because I think, as you've said before, its whole purpose in life is to protect you.
Just does it very oddly at times.
So it could tend to drive you nuts if you sit there and pay all attention to it. So again, because I'm being just honest and vocal about how these past 2 weeks there's a really recurring theme that I again, because I think that I go back to the beginning. This is why we do what we do. This is why we talk in front of a mic, because we have no problem sharing with people, strangers, friends, things that have happened to us, things that work for us. And I share this with you because I'm living through, I don't know what your friend is or the person going through, but we all have something. All of us have something, maybe have several things. And if you just put things into perspective and don't try to drown the balloon in the water, because then the balloon pops up. If we just say, hey, acknowledge, there's a pesky thought, there's something very bad that happened to me or something, but I still have these values. I still like to, like I said, in my case, go to the gym, whatever that thing is for anybody. Continue to do that. Continue to put focus on things that either bring joy or are productive, or even if they bring joy to somebody else, because that actually is sometimes
it's cathartic.
Yeah,
sure.
Anyway, life tip of the week.
Drop the mic. Yeah, no. Look, that's very true. It can be thought based, like you said. It doesn't have to be an actual event. It could be a thought, a recurring thought that comes up. Right. In my case, that's the way it was. In Henry's case,
I got it.
Yeah. I mean, and it does happen. So it happening, whether it's a thought based anxiety or thought based.
Yeah.
Now, so the event triggers a thought, and then it becomes, once the event is over, the event is done. Now it's a thought that has taken hold, and that thought. Yeah. So even let's say it's I don't know, somebody divorces you, or you break up with somebody, or whatever it might be. That's the event. You lose your job. That's the event. Something happened, whatever it is. The event triggers now the following thought. The thought creates a story. The story brings up memories. And here we go. Here comes the reel, starts to grow, and the movie.
Man, it's like you've done this before.
It starts to play. Now that is what keeps you stuck in that loop of self-pity. This is me. This is the worst. This happens to me. This sucks. This hurts so much. By the way, it sucks so much part, it's true, right? Like you said, like I said before, we're not trying to repress that. We're not trying to push up. It's whatever's happening might suck, might not be ideal, might be shitty, of course. But what is important to you in your life? Like that's probably been the one thing I've ever said to people that's resonated the most when they feel like they can't take a step. What is something you'd be doing right now if this didn't happen? I'd probably be going here. I'd be doing this. I'd be walking my dog. So why aren't you, like this one of some of the best advice I got when I first started therapy. So why aren't you doing that? And it wasn't because, why aren't you doing that? So
you're just questioning.
So, wait, why aren't you doing that? I don't feel like it. And now look at this. Who doesn't feel like it? Oh, you just said you would do it. Like this is where you get somebody and you make him realize there's multiple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Pulling. So wait, you don't feel like it. What do you mean you don't feel like it? I don't feel like it. Didn't you just say that if like you enjoy walking your dog? Yeah, I used to love walking my dog. Why did you used to love it? Well, now because of what? Because I don't feel like it. But would you walk your dog on a day where this didn't happen? Yes. So why aren't you walking your dog? You get like, well, because this is what I did when I was like this. I went, I don't have an answer to that really. Do you value doing this? Yes. So why aren't you doing it? Why wouldn't you do something that you care about, you enjoy doing, you like doing, because your mind is telling you today, because this happened, you're not going to do it. So who's calling the shots? Wow, time out. What do you mean who's calling the shots? I'm calling the shots. Then if you're calling the shots, why aren't you doing what you care about?
That's right.
Because my mind's telling me that I'm sad and I can't. So then who's actually making the decisions? Who's the gatekeeper? Who's in charge? Or is it just a circus of clowns up there? Da, 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 da. And we'll see. No, there is. And the person who's in charge does not have a voice, does not say anything. It sees it and just says like this, shines a light. That's important. You care about that. Without saying it, you realize it and you're like, that is important. I care about it and I want to go do it. Thank you, emotions. I appreciate it. This is going to suck while I go do this. I'm probably not going to get that cookie feeling like, wee, but while you're doing it, there's going to be a lightness all of a sudden that comes to you. It comes up.
It comes up.
And it's not going to feel euphoric. Like, when you're in a great mood, which is awesome. By the way, you're in a great mood today?
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it. Don't attach to it. Enjoy that great mood. It will fly away like what was it, this morning or yesterday?
Just wait.
No, it was this morning. I was moving my car out to let my daughter out. She had to go to school. I was pulling my car out and a song came on the radio and the song triggered a thought in my mind about what this person had told me. And I related with this person. I got I had an overwhelming feeling of sadness come across me. Because I'm an empathetic person. I felt what this person was going through, and I actually started to tear up right in my car. And wow, all of a sudden I just felt like this weight fall on top of me, and I'm like, whoa! Like I noticed it coming. And at first I was like, I don't want this, and I was like, okay, come on, I'm meant to feel this right now, right? Somehow I connected to this song triggered a thought, and I had this cascading feel. I let it be there. 20, 30 minutes. I went inside, did what I had to do, played with my dog, whatever. Took a shower. I had to go pick up my car from the deal, I was getting service. I went to get within a certain amount of time, that feeling, whether it was there or not anymore, I didn't realize it because I was engaging in the things that I wanted to take care of and wanted to do. Now, John, 10 years ago, that probably would have lasted a lot longer. And I'm not saying that there's days where it won't last longer, but this beautiful thing that we speak about here on a weekly basis makes you realize when you choose to do the things you care about, your life you only grow. This is what I actually told the person when I was talking with them. I said, you realize when you make a choice to do something that you value and you care about and that is in your best interest, you grow. I said, and the benefits, you don't see them this second, but they are there. With the next step you take and the next step you take, you go forward, you move forward, you become a more well-rounded individual. You grow, your value system grows, your determination to do things you care about grows. The way you see your emotions changes. The way you see things in life starts to change, but it only comes when you choose to live your life the way you want to. So when I got that advice from Dr. Tatiana in therapy years ago, I mean, and I think I tell it in the book, it was a story when I used to enjoy Christmas and that I couldn't get a Christmassy feeling.
Remember you told me?
Yeah, for shit. Like I could, chestnuts roasting in Manhattan, normally I get aroused from it because I love it. Like, easy, but I would get like excited because I love it.
Yeah, you get that feeling.
What? That year, Santa Claus could have been blowing candy canes up my ass. I wouldn't, like nothing. I could have had jingle bells all the way. I couldn't feel a thing and it was killing me. And her advice was, do you value that? I said, yes, I've always cared about the holidays. I've enjoyed it. I've always be with my family and go look at the lights. I've always enjoyed looking at Christmas decorations. They were beautiful and the trees and the ambiance. She goes, so why aren't you doing it?
Yeah.
And that's when I started to realize, well, who's calling the shots in my head? Like, why? Now, I'm not saying I felt great when I went to go do it, but I started doing it again that winter. And all of a sudden I felt something different. I wasn't happy. I wasn't ecstatic, but I started to appreciate something. And appreciation, by the way, can't be an emotion can't destroy an appreciation for something. That's deeper. That's deep rooted in your value system. It's something that's anchored in, and you're not going to shake that out.
How you put that into words is marvelous, because that's exactly the same feeling. Your first feeling of Christmas was sugary. Your sad feeling of Christmas was just wandering blind man. Your last and current feeling of Christmas has a deeper feeling, a deeper meaning that any sugary feeling could. You know what I'm saying about sugary?
And that sugary feeling shows up once in a while, but it doesn't last the way it used to.
Perfect.
And it fleets. It fleets in. And I'm like, wow, we're putting up the tree. We're watching, we're watching National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. We drinking hot chocolate. And then instantly, disappears. But now I let it disappear, and I come back to appreciating.
Yeah,
and it's beautiful because you get to ebb and flow in and out of things and see how they work.
So do you remember right before we hit live, I was telling you that basically anybody I come in contact with, I start to explain. Like, we do a podcast. You do? Yes. What's it on? Well,
should have been the marketing of this fucking guy.
Well, and I'm talking, like I said, 1-on-1, 1-on-2, 1-on-3. And I swear to you, when I start talking about, who's the one calling the shots, I almost want to bring out, like, Velcro has two sides, but eventually you
rip them apart. Yeah. That's a good analogy, right? I like that. Yeah.
This is the thoughts, the ego, the thoughts. This is you and your value system. This is the hard drive. This is the software. This is the hard drive. And this hard drive here, and the reason I say is because, all right, let's go 10 people. 8 out of 10 people, I lose them. They don't follow the separation.
No.
And that 1 or 2 that get it, they're like, they do a doggy. Like,
yeah,
they do a doggy like, you're right. When you see that light, see that light bulb go, bing, like, I hit it.
Absolutely.
The target has been hit. Like, you get it now. This thing, the iOS, the software, not the hard drive, the software is what's basically driving, and we forget.
Because that's the human part of us,
right? So some of us are not even aware, which is why you need.
Which is why those 8 to 10 people don't listen to you, because they're like, I don't know if they say I don't know what that means. It means that they still have identified with their mind 100%. They might have ways of coping with things. I'm not saying they don't, absolutely, but which are coping mechanisms, and there's a million of them out there in life, but they have not. There's still not that space between the thought and who they are.
Yeah.
The thought comes, that means that's who I am. The thought comes, that means I thought of it. The thought comes, it means I believe it. And like you said, when you pull that Velcro apart, you go, well, is that thought yours? Because I just ripped it right out. You thought it was 1, and I'm showing you it's 2. Right? And that's why some of these analogies really hit home. When somebody says something to you like, well, if you want to do it, then why aren't you doing it? I'm not in the mood, but you just told me you love to do it. And then you drop the great one. So who's calling the shots? Who's in charge? I am. Who do you mean I am? I am. So then why aren't you doing what you want to do? Because I'm not in the mood to? How can you not be in the mood to but want to do it at the same time? That means that means there's duality of it. That means that's something in you that knows the things that are good for you and beneficial for you. And then there's the thinking mind, blah, blah, blah. It's the clown that, there's a clown that's clapping on one side. On the other side, you have the Zen monk in you that says, this is what we care about. This is what we love. This is what makes us grow. And then the clown on the other side, throwing pies in the air. So which one are you going to listen to? It's really up to you. But the one you listen to, right? Because you're seeing both of them, right? Your value system, and you're seeing your emotional mind, the fear, the worry, the anxiety. And your value systems are just things that you care about, things that things that you gravitate to, things that are anchored deep inside of you, right?
Yep.
And I'm not talking about making money. That's not a value
Yeah.
system. I'm talking about like appreciating something you have. Like, hey, listen, I have this beautiful, I don't know, or whatever. I've always enjoyed taking long walks every morning. I value that. It's for me, it's beautiful. I love it. Okay, I'm not doing it anymore. Why? Oh, since mom died, I'm not in the mood to leave my house. Would you still enjoy taking walks? I would love to go take walks. So why aren't you taking those walks? Because I don't feel like it. Who's calling the shots? That I don't feel like it emotional, or that this has always meant something to me? Now, here's the third person, which isn't a person. It's the one in the middle that goes like this. I see you both. Which one are we going to shine the light on, right? And if you don't have that, if that light is off, I don't know. You're probably going to pick from the louder one, which is always this one. No. Because your value system doesn't scream to you. It's a gravitational pull. But usually we don't feel the pull if we're listening to the noise, right? That's static, right? And then if you have that awareness, you're actually able to see, all of a sudden you see that, you feel, and you see that gravitational pull because you're like, wait, I hear you, but I'm feeling this because I'm aware of what's in me right now. I'm aware of what I care about. So I can feel that this is where, even though I don't physically feel good, like I'm not in a good mood, quote unquote, but I could feel that this is important to me. So now your awareness gives you an opportunity. Which do you choose? And it's still, you're getting to make that choice, but you get to make that choice because you're aware of both. Or else there's no choice. The choice is made for you. Like you get to choose when you notice both. Like when you could say, yeah, I want to go for a walk. I really care about it. It's important to me. And here's the emotional, no, we don't want to. I'm not in the mood. Life sucks. Okay. Now you get to choose. You might choose this. That just means that your awareness is still dim where you're succumbing to instead of understanding that this is actually better for you.
Actually, I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
You said there's a third one, shining the light. I would say that third one, shining the light, is really the you, the hard drive you. It's just the hard drive you being able to see the other side.
So like the awareness, like your awareness, your consciousness,
Right. So it's not like
not third. It's not a third voice.
Right.
We've always said this, right? Awareness, mindfulness, presence, consciousness, whichever word jives with you, that's great. For me, they all kind of jive, but whatever word jives with you, it doesn't have a voice. Like your awareness is never going to talk to you. Once you hear something again, it's your thinking mind. But your awareness, what it does is it shines a light on it flips the light on in the room. So you're like, wait a second, I see everybody now. Whoa, what's going on?
Right, before
you were the loudest one in the room, so I just always listened to you.
Yeah. And before we get carried away here,
exactly,
and listen to you again, I'm here to put order.
It's like the Wizard of Oz. You pull the thing and hold on. I was listening to this big, dark, scary voice my whole life. Somebody put the light on. I opened the curtain. It's a little guy back there. Don't hurt me. All of a sudden, it's not as bad as you think. But yeah, the awareness is what gives you the opportunity to notice it all. And then you get to choose what you want to do. And that choice gets hard. It is hard at times because that emotional pull is strong, especially A, if you're a newbie to awareness, and B, if whatever's happening is that much more
and the people you
traumatic.
Surround yourself with too.
I actually told somebody today
because
the same thing.
A lot of the second one, a lot of the pull also comes from how other people also know the ego you.
Sure.
They don't know they know the hard drive you, but they really love the ego
what's your personality. That personality, the Henry, the John, so to speak.
Right. Like Bob Proctor says, I don't know. I'm a being named Bob.
My parents gave me a name. That's it.
So yeah, you're right. But the people that surround you is important because you might be on a journey. You're like, you know what? Your show has prompted me to really see that light and see that difference and see that I can choose according to my values. But then you go back and your family is not following, or your friends or your coworkers, they're not following along with you in this journey. And you come up with roadblocks. And you're like, well, how do you know this? Well, because we've been there. I know you've been there. I've been there. I am there. I don't think you ever leave there because not everybody wants to do what you do. Not everybody sees the value. Not everybody can even identify what it is. And it's good. That's fine. Then that's when you become the guidepost. You just know that it's something that definitely works for you. You can see the difference in being unaware and being aware. When you were unaware, that thought took you down that rabbit hole, and there you went. And next thing you know, you haven't gone to the gym in 6 months, which is something that you held near and dear to your heart. But what's wrong? Why'd you change? Oh, because right? There's always excuse A, excuse B, or why. You used to love going around the block. You used to love. I don't do it anymore. Because your surroundings didn't change, and therefore you didn't change. You went back. It's easy to revert back.
Absolutely.
And it's not only is it easy, it's tempting to revert back. It's tempting to do so because you also want to please those around you because you love person A, B, C.
Sure. The people,
and person A, B, C, they do mean well for you.
Of course they do. Absolutely. If people don't understand, if they haven't experienced that yet, they haven't experienced an awakening, right? 'Cause that's what they call it, right? The word that's applied to this is awakening, means you've awakened and you've put the lights on and realized these voices are these dueling voices in your head, and they pull you each way. You're not just following them blindlessly. So you've awakened to that. Now you're aware of it and you see it. And now, I can make decisions based on a whole different level. It was Thanksgiving. My parents were up in PA. And I forgot, we're having a conversation at dinner. And this topic kind of came up about life and about the mind and this and that. So I knew I was going into a lion's den with this. I got heady with it, right? Like my wife would understand where I was going. My son my son and my daughter they've heard me say this before, so they kind of knew my angle. And I kind of got heady with my mother. I'm like, oh my, my parents. I was like, I'm not my thinking mind. I go, I'm not John Emilio. Practically, I'm John Emilio.
She probably fainted.
I said, I'm not John Emilio. I go, I'm the soul, the presence. I use soul because it's a word that she would understand. Because my mother's very religious. So I'm the soul, I'm the essence, I'm the presence, the consciousness that experiences John Emilio. I said, I'm not John Emilio. I said, nothing that happens to John Emilio is happening to me. It's happening through me. I forgot what she said, but she made a comment. I can't think of the exact words, which was very like, what's the word I'm looking for? Dismissive, but in such a funny way. My son lost his shit, like dying. He's looking at me. He's like, oh my God. And I look at him. I just went this. I go, now you see what I mean?
She probably looked at it. Well, look at Aristotle over here.
She's like almost like, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? You don't know who you are. You're John Emilio. You're my son. Something like that. And it's like, that's how you know that there's a fear in people like that they don't want to even entertain. What do you mean I'm not?
We could do a whole episode on that.
Like, what do you mean I'm not who you say I am? If you would have called me Joe, my name would be Joe Emilio. My name could have been Carl Emilio. My name could have been Tony Emilio. John Emilio is a name that you guys gave me. No, I guess I love my name. It's practically who I am.
I got to call myself something. So,
but when I said this to her, I said, but when I close my eyes, I said, I connect. I said, not like I go somewhere, but I connect to something greater than me. It's a sense of peace, a sense of calmness. It's a knowing, and that's why I love what Eckhart Tolle uses. If I have to use an English word that describes it the best, it's a knowing. A knowing you cannot describe. You go like this. I know there's something beyond me, but I can't explain it. And that's what your consciousness is. It's a connectedness with this something greater than just the thoughts in your head. And when I said, that's where I lost them completely, both of them.
No,
even my father. Who kind of
and they should not have been, because that's religion.
Yes, but it's not the language that they are used to.
It's the same thing.
But it's not the language they're used to. So certain people are very attached. We're going through my book chapter by chapter here. Certain people are very attached. Some people are very attached to the language they use, right? The language dictates how they see things.
The language is the door opener in that little frame of their brain. This means this.
Unless they're willing to take the horse blinders off and go like this. Oh, wait. I get it now. So it was just funny because, when I got all heady with her, that was my mother, and my father too. Actually, both of them. That was and again, it was said by them in loving jest. I didn't get
You
defensive.
laugh with her.
There was an emotion that came up. I wanted to go, damn it, don't you people get what I'm saying? I was like, and I went this. I went my go-to line. People like that. I go, okay. Obviously, we're not there, so okay.
You've also said, insomma.
Insomma, like an Italian. But yeah, no. But it's a great place. It's a great tool. This is a great tool, right? And especially like we were saying before, when you're going through something and your emotions want to make that decision for you, like if me wanted to go back to my parents and be like, oh my God, but you don't understand.
No.
Or you're going through something.
You displayed right there what a good son, actually not good son, the best son possible for them did. Because you're watching it from 20,000 feet. You're not there. You're here. And you know what you just did was you shared a great moment with your mom. That's what you did. And you enjoyed a great moment with your mom. Sure, there was a... right? But from up here, the high ground, you're like, it's a beautiful memory. It's a beautiful thing. And Ma, okay, you believe what you believe. God bless you. I love you.
And that's the beauty of it, right? That's the beauty.
And it makes for a better son, just like it makes for a better father. So I've been having my own examples in my life of how, with my older son, especially. My older son's a bit of a, let's just say, he's his own man, type of deal, right?
Aren't they all?
So, he's going to be 20 soon. And I'm like, yeah, he's going to be 20 soon in February. Like,
anyway,
because I flipped the script. So it makes for a better son, because if you were blind, you would have been bickering with your mother over something so stupid.
Oh, yeah.
In the sense, and I don't mean stupid that you were stupid or she was stupid. I don't mean that. I mean, it's nonsense. Because you're up here. The high ground is, I watched your story from up here, and I watched a beautiful moment. It was to your mom. Your mom's not up here. You're up here. Your mom's here telling you,
yeah, no, that's true.
You're nuts. You're wrong. Yeah, sure. You're wrong. So, and I'm saying the script flipped from the parenting side is, so my son, here we go, on trade war stories. My son says he came out of a store, I don't know, and his tire is on the ground, okay? Therefore indicating either a slow leak, a flat. He goes, I turn on the thing, and the tire says it's a 10 PSI. Having some experience, 10 PSI equals flat.
Flat, yeah. No.
It's just saying 10 to say something, but it's flat.
It means there could be some air still left in the tire, but not enough.
Right.
Yeah.
So going through the the possibilities, he says, well, if I do this, if I do, I say, look, if you can roll to the gas station, roll to the gas station, put air in the tire, but I'll meet you there so we could take it to the place to fix his tires, because by the time tomorrow morning comes, that tire's going to be flat again. No. I have school in the morning. I said, listen, we'll work out the logistics, but I'm telling you now, if your tire's at a 10, it's a 0. If you put air tonight, it's going to roll you to the next place, but come tomorrow morning, that tire's on the ground again. No. Tomorrow, I'll wake up early. I'll put air again. He's going to drive an hour and change to school. After school, he's going to go put air again, come in, and then take it to.
I remember those days.
So I have two choices here, right?
Yeah.
You had a choice. You could argue with your mother, or you could say, okay. So I said, we'll do as you say. I said, we'll do as you say. I said, but just so you know, my point of view would be, do what I say. Put air in it now, take it to the. I said, but we'll do what you say, but we're going to do one condition, though.
I don't want to hear it tomorrow morning.
If you ruin the rim, you're buying it.
Yeah.
Because I know what I'm talking about. Deal. He made sure that nothing happened. He made sure but what I'm trying to say is this ability to think applies for almost all decisions that you can
Oh yeah,
make.
it doesn't have to be
So it makes you
only
a better
major ones.
decision maker
Sure,
because
100%,
you
1000%.
remove that software, you remove that extra. Now you're kind of deciding with the hard drive, deciding with some sort of clarity, some sort of value base, some sort of real anchor. And
Well, you're not making your decisions based on an emotion.
because let me tell you
Like,
what
I need to be right, Dad. Okay, go ahead, go for it. I need to be right.
That's
Knock
right.
yourself out.
That's right. If I rewind and I would do an unaware conversation, it would have been like, listen to me, shut up, just shut up for a minute, because you have this. Go and I'll meet you there, and we're gonna just stop. That would have been. But then there's wisdom. There's wisdom that kicks in. It's weird.
That's how they learn. That's how you teach. That's how you teach. You teach by letting somebody put their hand on the stove and go, son of a bitch, and go, Is that burn? Yes. Okay. Well, oh my God, there's a funny clip, a meme. It was some show back in the 80s and 90s where there's a father and a mother in a living room, and the son's going around with something, and he's gonna like a paper, like pen, paper clip, and he's going towards the outlet, and the mother runs off, and she goes, no, 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 no. The father goes, no, 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 come back. He goes, go ahead, do what you were gonna do. He goes, keep on, don't worry. He goes, and he comes back and he goes, we're not going to do that again, are we? And the kid, like, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that was a funny example, but that's how you teach, is by allowing them to make a decision, not by telling them. And by the way, the best teachers are aware teachers. The best teacher, like a spiritual teacher or a good school teacher.
Teachers are aware teachers.
The best teachers are aware. Because if you're an aware teacher, you're an aware coach, you're an aware person, you're an aware father, you're an aware mother, you're an aware anything where you're affecting a child, especially an aware teacher who doesn't make emotional decisions and actually thinks and makes decisions from a place of higher intelligence, of consciousness, of awareness, of presence. Their decisions are going to be based more on not doing it my way, but teaching you the best way. That works for you, maybe, right? But the best way, and how you learn to do that, is by allowing them to make decisions, right? By allowing them to learn what the word choice means. I get to choose. Yeah, you get to choose. I could tell you what to do, but then I just need to be heard and be right. Okay, that's great. But what am I teaching you when I do that? I'm teaching you to be like me. I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be like you, but an aware you, and alert you and awakened you, and a you that doesn't make emotional decisions, but makes intelligent decisions based on the things that are important to you, taking all circumstances into account, taking all the facts into account, not just, I need to be right, Dad. Fuck you. You don't know any better than me, right? Because listen, we were all 18, we were 19, 20. We all get it, right?
Yep.
The Superman complex, nothing could hurt me. I'm 19, 20. 30 comes real quick. Don't worry about it.
Just wait.
Just wait. Just wait. 30 comes real quick. Don't worry about, my back. Oh, your back, huh? Yeah, well, you know what happens.
Just wait.
Just wait.
The two of the finest words are just wait.
Just wait. But, so, yeah. Deciding by your emotions could feel, if it's an egoic decision trying to make, like, I need to be right, could feel good in the moment, like feel like empowering. Yeah. But pay attention to, it's almost like,
or the opposite, empowering or deflating.
But so we were talking about the deflating one at the beginning of the show, right? The ones that, this is horrible, I don't want to do, or the one that go, no, I'm right, I need to be right, I'm right, you don't know, I'm right. Okay, you're right. You want to be right? Be right. You're not making those decisions based on, you're not thinking clearly. You're thinking just with that one side, that one voice that's saying we need to be right. Even if you broke that person down, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do it. They would actually admit, maybe I shouldn't do it that way. But that voice is so loud to say, no, we need to be right. That emotion is so strong in them that they can't resist but to push that way and follow it blindly. Okay, we're going to follow it. Yeah. We're going to follow it. Sorry, we were talking. My dog had a rash around his eyes from the Poconos, right? because I was telling you upstairs, he must have gotten to something before we went up there. So I texted the vet a picture. She said, yeah, come in on Monday. It's probably some allergic reaction. Give him a little Benadryl. Anyway, whatever. So we're talking about my old dog in Brooklyn came up, and my father started telling stories. Blah, 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 blah. I look at my son at one point, and I know this. I've heard this. Look at my son. I go, this. What am I falling here? And I go, he's going to end up with saying, my way is the best way. Watch. I know better. Story goes. You see, I was right the way I wanted to do it. And my son breaks out. He looks at me. He's like, I go, there's an urge in people sometimes just to know that they need to be right, that their way is the best way. But and then my mother, by the way, in her defense, said the story the proper way, leaving out all the shit my father didn't leave out.
The extra.
And she goes, the doctor said this, and then the doctor said that. He thinks he's always right. And I look at my son again, I go, and you see how people could believe anything in their heads that they want to, right? It was all harmless bullshit, but
he molded it to his ego.
Exactly. So imagine the person like your son. No, Dad, it'll work. You got no knowledge in tires. You have no understanding of an aluminum rim, how it bends, or you warp the rim once the tire's on the floor. You got feet to go before you fucking destroy it. They don't understand that. Okay, fine, but you need to be right. That it worked out for him. That right could have cost him $600 for a new rim.
Yeah.
Right. So you're out there. If that emotional, I need to be right. Take a pause. Look at it. Are you actually correct in what you're saying, or you just need to be right in what you're saying? And then look at the other side. Right. Are you actually not going to do the things that you want to do because that voice is telling you not to do them because you feel sad? Are you going to say something because you just feel like you need to be right because you got that urge, an emotion pushing you to say, I need to be right? That ego's just screaming. Pay attention. You never know. You'll learn something.
God forbid. That was good.
Yeah, I'm good. Anything else?
No. We hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, good. Look at that. Another great episode. So,
yeah, you're going to learn a lot here.
Yeah. You
might hear the same or similar themes, but they always.
Here's the thing with this. If you listen to this show or other shows like this, or people who talk about this, if you listen to it enough, it does sink in, and it does become part of your subconscious wiring, and it does become a new way that you see life. But beyond that, it really is a cheat code, as you would say, to life. Like, it's the cheat code to life. If you might listen to this the first time and go, I don't get this. Listen to another episode. Follow some of the people that we speak about. Listen to what they do. And every time your mind, by the way, tells you this is bullshit, ask yourself a question. Why is my mind telling me this is bullshit? Because it's scared and it doesn't want to be. The ego doesn't want to be discovered. It doesn't want to be outed. Right? It doesn't want to be outed. So it's going to give you every reason.
It's having a great time.
It's having a great time. I'm in control. Once it realizes that you're in control, the ego does. That egoic part of you dies away and loses power. So pay attention when your mind's telling you, yeah, this show's bullshit. These guys are quacks. These guys know what they're talking about. Yeah. They're too idiot. Or that Cartol guy's he's weird. Or Sagaru, he's a dumb or this guy, Joe Dispenza, he's a nut job. Pay attention to that story in your head and then ask yourself, why am I getting that story? Why would my mind be telling me not to look more into this? Because there's a defense mechanism built in that it doesn't want, that part of your mind doesn't want to let go of control. That's because I got to keep Henry alive. So no. You people are going to hurt him. I'm in charge. That's it. That's all I got now.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So on that, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Comment, subscribe, play it in your car, when you're working, on your way to work, in the gym, on the treadmill, whatever it is you do, in the background, it'll sink in.
Yeah, man. I hope you're getting some benefit from this. I know we do every week. So peace and love, everybody. Have a great week. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Oh. Peace and love. I will not be signing any more autographs.
The Beatles?
Ringo Starr. It's a famous sketch.
All right, so everybody stay safe, be well, be present, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Next week.
All right, man. Peace. Take care. The insights and discussions that we speak about on our show are our own opinions and based on our life experiences. If you or someone in your family or someone you know is suffering and in need of help, please get them that help through medical attention or seeking proper therapy. Again, what we speak about are based on our experiences and not intended to be taken as a form of therapy. Thank you.